Hi, I'm Jeff Karamaris with Rainbow River Medical. This is Chantel DeBezier again, my office manager. And we're going to talk with you a little bit more today about coronavirus as far as what we have found and discovered. We haven't done a video for the last couple of weeks because it has just been astronomically crazy over here. But we're thankful to still be here and still be able to offer testing. We've had 66 total positives now, which is not quite double what we had the last time we did a video, but still a pretty remarkable number, I feel. We are now offering...
Yeah, the antibodies.
Yeah, we're now offering antibody testing. It is being run through LabCorp for the most part.
We did mine on film.
Yes,
the
we
last
did.
time.
We drew.
And we got the results back. I have never had it, and I do not contain the antibody, that's remarkable. 66 infected mouths I've had my hands in, and I've never had it. Why? Because we take the precautions.
Yeah.
We do what we need to do to protect ourselves and all of our patients. And that leads me to all the fast food restaurants around town are wearing these masks to help the customers feel safe. Well, I feel safe from beard hairs in my food. Because that's all they're doing with them. If you do not wear the mask properly, that means covering your nose and your mouth. You aren't protecting anyone.
Right. So, well, everybody needs to be taking precautions.
Yes.
We just want to make sure that people are using the right protective, personal protection equipment effectively, which includes the mask, placing it over the nose and the mouth, gloves when necessary, wiping off carts at the store. Most of the stores nowadays are providing wipes. Most people have them in their cars at this point, just because of what this pandemic has done to our nation and to our little town here. With our protection equipment here, we wear full suits. There are times when we may not have them completely on, and that's when we know that a patient has tested negative and they're here for a regular office visit. But anytime we're dealing with a potential coronavirus case or even doing the antibody testing, we do wear full protective equipment, which includes suit, usually a respirator, occasionally an N95 mask, but usually quite a bit higher, N100 or higher, and we wear that throughout the blood draw for the antibody test, as well as for any of the swabs for the coronavirus testing.
We need to make a few things clear with the antibody test. We don't know how long it takes for the antibodies to show up in your system if you did have it, and we don't know how long they last. This is all new to us, just as it is to everyone else out there. Granted, we are doing some research on our own.
We are definitely.
And we have realized a lot of things that we cannot just throw out there right now until we have our proper meetings and confirm, which we're working on.
We are. There are 2 different antibodies that you will probably hear in the news and different places talking about this antibody test, which now is being offered quite a bit in the local area as well as nationally, and that's the IgM antibody and the IgG antibody. The IgM is what first shows up, usually within the first week, and then thereafter the IgG antibodies start to rise. The antibodies that we're looking at are specific for the COVID-19. It is not for the other coronavirus strains that have been around for 100 years here. It's not for any other type of virus other than the COVID-19. We're seeing some mixed results on those coming back, and it's behaving a little bit differently than any other virus we've ever seen, but we're rolling with the punches and we're trying to ascertain exactly what the best course of action is for continuing to offer the right precautions, as well as offer the right advice and recommendations for those that are coming to us and entrusting us with their care.
We've had some recoveries.
We have had some recoveries, yes.
I want to say about 10.
Yes, 10 fully recovered right now, which is pretty amazing.
One even came by just to say hello because she feels like she has her life back
Yeah.
after so many months.
Yeah, yeah. That was actually our first patient.
Yes, it was.
And she's doing remarkable. This is, again, as we've said in previous videos, this is a very, very serious virus. There was a lot of talk about it being a hoax and a joke.
It's no joke.
It's not. It's not.
I believe our death rate for Florida is 3.4%
Which
right
is
now.
pretty significant.
There's not as much publicity on it right now, but when everything opened, watching the graphs, we're back up where we were.
Yeah.
So we didn't go down off of the spike, we stayed there.
All right. So just as the country and as our community, as our state begins to reopen back up, please continue to take the right precautions. We all need our kids to go back to school as soon as possible.
Yes.
And
Another thing that we also need to address is mental health with the isolation.
oh my goodness, that's huge.
People are not realizing it. There is a lot of mental health issues going on right now. But one thing you need to keep in mind, we're always here if you just need to talk,
Yeah.
but you're not alone.
You're right.
It's everywhere.
There was one stat that I hadn't seen
Yeah.
was in Citrus County, is that there's a spike in overdoses.
Yes,
Yes.
because they're
So-
sitting at home with nothing to do. But let me tell you, we even have our own mental health issues because we're running on zero sleep.
I think that's right.
You're not alone.
That's right.
There are hotlines to call. NA meetings, AA meetings are still happening. Reach out to one.
Right. And we're here. Somebody just needs to talk and needs to vent, as silly as it may sound or as may seem, it's not silly. This is something that nobody on this earth has ever faced before. And it's definitely different than the other pandemics that have happened.
It is, it is.
And you know, we being confined to one's home, sometimes it's just a little too much time to be thinking and pondering.
Most of
and,
the other pandemics, it was like cut and dry. This is what you're up against. We don't know what we're up against
no,
here.
we still don't know. We still don't know.
Any of the antibody tests, have you done some on ones that were confirmed positive?
Absolutely.
And they have.
And they are donating their plasma.
Mm.
They are also helping us with their blood to look at more in depth on it.
Yes. Yes.
The one was positive all the way across the board. Elated,
Mm-hmm.
just elated.
Because she could actually go out and help somebody.
Yep.
And
She's like, where do I go? Blood won this weekend in that parking lot. They're there every weekend. I guarantee you she went and gave her plasma for that.
okay, here's the paperwork. Take it with you. Tell them what you're there for. And
Yeah.
yeah, she did it. So
And we had another gentleman that did both last week too.
did it.
Yes.
Can't even keep up. It's
And he wanted one of our shirts.
and we gave it to him.
Yep.
We did, absolutely. I mean, it's the least we could do.
We do have to put a shout out. RVs for MDs,
RVs for MDs.
Yes.
Amazing.
the Popper family.
Yes, yes.
They got us hooked up so we actually have air conditioning now.
Oh my
And
goodness.
And when it's
yes.
raining, we can actually go underneath the cover and not worry about lightning.
Yes, it's amazing to be able to have air conditioning and, you know, just an enclosed place to be able to keep our supplies
Yes.
and
A lot less for me to carry in and out.
oh my goodness, yes. So thank you a million times over.
And I have to say, on a personal note, I have the same RV that you have out there.
Oh,
and
yeah?
we have it for my fiance, who's an RN up at Shands, and when, you know, she's not in the COVID wing, but she had the scare the other day, and
Right.
so she has to go self-isolate.
It's nice
She's
to have.
ready to go.
That's right, that's right. It's not quite home, but it still has
We've always
many of the features.
We've always dreamed of having one because we do the disaster relief during the hurricanes.
Yes.
We're usually having to borrow one if we can find it,
Yeah.
but we have been known to sleep in vehicles. So eventually we're gonna end up getting one.
Eventually. But really, just thank you to them for
That's an amazing
and our
group.
community and you guys for the support and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes.
And we hope to do more tests this week.